Hello. Welcome to another episode of Conscious Roots TV.
Ooh, I'm Porscha.
And I'm Nady, and together we founded Conscious Roots back in 2017. Ooh, a hot minute ago.
Ooh.
And we're a business that's dedicated to creating healing experiences that empower people to live their most inclusive and least oppressive lives.
Yes, and we are creating a series of diversity, equity, and inclusion-focused how-to videos.
Ooh, lucky you.
You know what's better than that?
Wow.
Oh my God. So pour yourself a mug of wine.
Ooh, and maybe pop some corn.
Ooh, and tuck right in. What are we sharing today, Nady?
Today we're talking all about inclusive language. This is such a hot topic in the world right now. Oh my goodness. I know that most people out there, anybody who's subscribed to our channel, you do not want to be harmful with your language. But sometimes folks are inadvertently making some bad choices.
You know, thank goodness for Conscious Roots TV, am I right?
I'm just like, wow, you really get to reap the benefits of this.
Oh my goodness. So tell me about this inclusive language that we're going to be talking about today.
There are so many categories of inclusive language,
Yeah.
so this video could easily last for days and days, but I'm pretty sure YouTube has some limits on the uploads.
Probably.
Yes. So today we're just focusing in on how to be disability affirming and inclusive with your language. All right. It's important to know that every one of us at some point is going to have a disability in our lives, whether that disability is temporary or permanent. We're all going to be affected. So using disability affirming language that is inclusive is a must to validate your own person experience, your own experience as a human.
Yeah, and plus you may have friends and colleagues among you that have disabilities that are invisible.
Yeah.
So things that you don't necessarily know about but still affect them. So get on this. First, we have got a bevy of words.
A bushel.
Oh, a bushel.
A bushel
Okay,
of
I'll
words.
take it. So like a berry bushel, it's like a food, like a crop. Don't eat it. It's a negative bushel.
Oh.
It's a bad bushel because it's a bushel of it's a bushel of words that
Bushel of bad words.
that we never want to hear you use again.
Ooh. So first up, we have crazy and insane. This is a big one, folks. I hear people carelessly tossing around crazy and insane all over the place in conversations. And this is not okay because number one, you're marginalizing people who have mental illnesses. You're minimizing their experiences and you're also assigning a negative value to being crazy or insane through your use of that language. For example, you're essentially telling them that their feelings and experiences aren't valid when you say things like, oh, my vegan burger was crazy good. Or perhaps those puffy clouds are insane today.
Yeah, that latter one being a sentence we hear all the time, right? Yeah.
I mean, from white folks.
A series of videos for another day, people. Yikes. There are so many other options out there to use as well. Yes. So you could substitute in a word like wild, or amazingly, or you could say hella.
Oh, very Californian.
Or busy. There are so many ways to actually convey the meaning that you want. All right, next word, lame. Ugh. This word was originally used to describe people, I know it's so bad, with limited mobility. And now it just means uncool. So basically by using the word, what you're saying is whatever is uncool or whatever you experience that you didn't like is the same as people with limited mobility.
Wow,
which
how rude.
We know is not something you want to say.
Absolutely not. Ooh, I mean, the more you know, right? So instead, find a replacement for lame, like blah, if you want to go the onomatopoeia route, or else perhaps you use ridiculous or tiresome, or my partner and I like to make up words and speak our own secret language. And so the word that we use that essentially means the same thing as lame is mouthy. And so we're like, oh, I'm feeling mouthy today, or oh, that was so mouthy of you.
And you're able to say that to each other in seriousness?
Yeah, totally serious.
Oh, okay. Well, learning something new about you every day. All right, so there are two more words that we just don't ever need to use ever again. And we don't want to hear you use them either. See?
Absolutely not.
Chopping them up because they're disappearing forever. All right, one of them is handicapped.
Who is even saying, like, what year is it? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we know there are probably still plenty of people saying this, and our own government is giving us the best messages by having signs that are called handicap signs.
So if you want to be like the government, I guess keep using it.
Ugh, you don't want to be like the government. Anyhow, we would hope that you have stricken this word from the record, but if you haven't, we want you to know that a word like handicapped just does not capture people the way they want to be captured. Disability rights advocates have been saying for years that the word handicapped is offensive to them. So just strike it from your vocabulary and try not to use that word when you actually mean that someone has limited mobility.
Seriously, last word is one that you should never ever use under any circumstances. We're not even going to say what that word is out loud here on Conscious Roots TV because it has no place in the English language, no place in our vocabulary, and no place in yours. And that is the R word. If you're not sure what that is, just Google R word and you will find out. That word is horrible. It perpetuates negative stereotypes about people living with disabilities. And honestly, like, this word really strikes home for me because growing up with my little sister who happens to live with multiple significant disabilities, I heard this word a lot called out to her, called out to our family. And it hurt. No matter what was happening, it always hurt, because it minimized and dehumanized her as a person. And that's just wrong. So strike that from your vocabulary. Never ever use it, even if you're like, oh, I'm just describing a situation that happened in the 60s. Don't use the word.
Thank you. And to help you out, we've made a cheat sheet for you to look
how
at.
good are we?
You know? Easy peasy. And it's going to cover the words that we talked about today, but also some words that we didn't get to in this video.
Right.
So if you want to go deep, you can also subscribe to our newsletter.
As well as to our YouTube channel.
Yes, so you can find out how to do more in these areas of your life.
Right. New videos coming every Thursday, and newsletters also coming on the weekly, so you want to be a part of this. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. Thank you for doing the work.
And thank you for being you.
Bye.